Hi, and so in this video, and I guess I should again apologize. I wasn't going to do videos, but hey, it's bear with me. This one is I'm going to build up my back end for. This is going to be in ASP.NET server application, which is going to be built using Entity Framework and code first on the back end. And I host it on WinHost, but of course it can be anywhere. And we're marrying together this Flutter application with our .NET application. And the one thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to include identity, because I'm going to use this. I want to use the identity bits with my Flutter application to provide my login and logout, and particularly to get my secure server calls through OAuth. And I've got a personally running application here, but I'll just show you how I did build this to get started with. I went to New Project, and this is a web application, and I don't care the name because I'm not going to really use this. I'm just going to show you how I built it, how I started it off. And of course, I've selected Web API because this is all my calls need to be HTTP based. And we've got to be careful here and make sure we change this authentication to individual user accounts. And then we'll pick up all the identity bits that we need, and also making sure that Web API, and we don't need MVC, but it can be left there. So this is how I built the application. However, what I'm going to immediately do is switch over here to the finished one, and I get rid of this thing. And I've got the finished application here ready to go. And well, actually, I lied. I'm going to have to open it. So I go open recent, and we should see my Flutter backend. So my Flutter backend is here, ready to. And I just showed you how I built it, and this is the result. But there's one other thing. If we go to Postman, and I have built this so that we now, and if we take a look at our account controller, we'll see there's a whole pile of calls that have been generated for us by the framework, and things like external logins, and then but the key thing, and if we get down here, we will see register. This is going to be the thing we want to do first. Now notice this is allow anonymous, so that we can make our calls. We don't have to be authenticated to make our calls here. And this is simply going to create our new application user and put it into our database. And using this, so, and the register binding model is, if we take a look at its definition, it only contains an email and password. Now, typically, in particular my applications, I've got a lot more properties here, but this is just simple for this demo. Now, if we go in here into Postman, we can test this because we have the, let's just start our, and we're going to leave our breakpoint here. We're going to start our application, our web app, and it's on port 42175. So now if I go over to Postman, I have this set up. I've set up my raw input in my body. My raw input I've set up to have my email and my password. Now and my confirm password. So if we hit the send key, we hit the breakpoint here because we're running in my debugger for my register, and we'll see the model probably has the things we want. Yes, it has the username and password. So now if we go down here and we execute our next statement, and we've created an application user, and this user, there's a lot of other things in here like the ID was just huge, and the phone number and security stamps and all that stuff. Now, security stamp will become important later. Now, we make this call to create async and pass the user, and let's see what happens. And this probably see, oh, it didn't succeed. Wait a minute. So this is simple stuff. But now, if I look at, let's look at my result. Ooh, and oh, the password must have at least one non-letter. Oh, I don't like that. So we can use it, but I don't like the restrictions. So let's just continue this, and of course we will get my call fail. That's why I like using Postman to just see if what my backend is doing what I want. Now, if we look in here, this is in identityconfig.cs. There's in here there is a create function, and in create function there is a password validator, and the password validator says require non-letter or digit. Let's just comment this out because I don't want that. Oh, we can't run this. We have to stop it, and I'm just gonna comment out this statement so we don't, this is, or actually let's even better, let's just because I don't know what the default is, so we'll just make this false. Now the really important thing to notice here is when we do this post to register this to log us in, we're logging into the user which we just created. This is a call to the token endpoint. Well, we're going to get back this as part of our body, this access token, and this is the token we have to use for all ensuing calls. And let's just take a look here. Back in our server, we've got a call here in our API control. Remember, this is decorated with authorized, so all the methods except for one. Anything marked anonymous are going to be secure. And then in here we've got a get user info. It's really simple. It just returns the email of the logged in user and whether it's registered. Then if we look back here, we're going to go back to Postman, and we've got to use this access token. Let's see what happens if we don't use the access token. My get here, and look at, I'm just going to remove the header. The token was left over, so I'm just going to remove it. And if we make our call to our server, then we see this nice little string: authorization has been denied. Okay, so we can't make the call. But if we go and we fill in this, fill in the token, this is in the authorization header. Let me just copy this, and now our call should work. Indeed it does. So now, from now on, whenever we want to make a secure call, we have to pass this token. Now this is the stuff we're now going to look at and how to do this in Flutter.